through off the left here and curled above Sayusis. To be fair, you were saying before the game.
Welcome back to the SEC tournament. We are now underway in the second half already, and
Shelly Smith going into halftime. No looking ahead to next game. They know just how difficult it is to get by this Alabama team. Sayusis heads over.
Our goal is to win this game.
Hins took a fifth year last year. The springboard for her into the pros. And for Sayusis to learn a little more about herself. Didn't play as a freshman. Sophomore, just 3 games. Has grown into this job. A lot of credit to Marty Merritt, the staff, in making that happen. Gianna Paul trying to force her way through. Collins dropping back. Labovich. Trying to get the end line. That'll be out for a corner. There's Marty Merritt, one of the all-time greats in Ole Miss. And this is a quick corner. Ball whipped across. Dealt with by South Carolina. Doing a little bit of coaching there, too.
I'm shocked. That's exactly what she did as a player at Ole Miss. Constantly organizing, so loud, aggressive, in-your-face organization, great presence. And that's what Sayusis brings as well, is that aggressive nature, that ability to manipulate her body to make those game-changing saves. I mean, if Marty Merritt could produce a goalkeeper like herself, there isn't anyone better than Tina Sayusis.
Maybe a chance from distance. Sayusis steers it aside. Well, Alabama felt like there was some space to shoot on top of the penalty area today. This is their best chance yet.
And that's where South Carolina can be caught. Is their cautiousness can be a great strength, but also a big liability. It's space on top of the box from Rabimbis. South Carolina's got to work to take more risks to get pressure on the ball.
This ball laced. Oh, wow, Sayusis. Superwoman with a cape. And Marty couldn't have done it any better.
Right on cue. Match-winning saves, the ability to manipulate her body, stay balanced in a perfect position. This is where a lot of goalkeepers get that wrong, is they skew to their near post. Sayusis in the right place, reacts really well, uses that athleticism to push it out for a corner.
And Rabimbis has to be thinking, you have got to be kidding me. 2 really good chances. 4 corners for Alabama. Ball ricochets around. Appeal for a handball. Rips back out. Corey Rockwell wants another look. He can get it in a moment. Paul forward. Snatched. And yes, Corey Rockwell will take another look at it. So the players all asked for video review, and they are going to go have an additional.
Who asked for it?
Indeed, there was no handball. Thank you, Corey.
That looks like it just takes a deflection off of Kat Berry's shoulder there. I don't think there's anything in this. Header off Kennedy Garcia right into the shoulder of Kat Berry.
You know, if you think about how Kat Berry, maybe there's a second perhaps on that rebounded shot back in. But if you look at how Berry wears her jersey, right?
Ooh, that could be it right there on Zulo. As Zulo slides across to try to get pressure on the ball, and it takes another deflection.
We talk about the edge of the sleeve being where the handball is. You kind of have to guess with Kat Berry where that sleeve would land. So on the first effort, that's the question. Then this is exactly what's being looked at right now by Corey Rockwell.
Yeah, Zulo jumps up, her elbow sticks out, just pokes out just enough.
So there it is off Berry. So that's step 1.
That looks okay to me.
And then Zuloff is coming on the right and Zulo on the left. There's the arm outstretched from Zuloff.
No, I still think it hits Zulo.
Okay. You can hear Corey Rockwell saying, I prefer that look.
Yeah, it hit Zulo right there.
Yep.
And her arm is protruding outside of her body to make her body bigger. I think they're going to be awarded a pen.
And Corey Rockwell is going to jog across and tell us and the 1,000+ in attendance.
On the edge of my seat.
They deem no penalty.
Interesting.
And Zulo also wears the sleeves high. So again, you have to do a little bit of math on this. So neither off Barry nor Zulo's arm. All right, so Alabama not going to find salvation yet. You heard Wes Hart say, get that first goal. I'll chip in my per diem next year if we can get Christina Uncle into these shows.
Seriously. I need a lifeline. I still stand firm, and there was a handball the other day. And I still think that was a handball.
Yep. Well, it's a thankless job. To be fair, there we were looking at the initial ball on Barry for the better part of a minute before we found what we thought was something conclusive off of Zulo. And from the first angle, I thought it was off Zulo.
I was about ready to put some gloves on Zulo. I mean, I've worked with a lot of handballs in my time. I thought that was one.
Many balls. Zulo. I saw Luciana Zulo downstairs, the Zulo family here. They're essentially the first family, along with the Harrises, of South Carolina soccer. But Luciana, one of the all-time greats, was a senior when Karina was a freshman. And now tonight, game 100 for Karina Zulo. For so long, the conversation about Karina Zulo is we'll keep her on the field until she runs herself right out of gas. A tremendous effort player.
And that's why she's playing on that left-hand side today for South Carolina, to be able to double back and provide some coverage against Alabama's width in the right-hand side. Exactly that, Mike, because she has a dynamic ability to be able to run back and then also join the attack in those counterattack and more vertical threats. And when she can leak out wide, can get the ball at her feet and just be so creative off of the dribble, isolate it when she can get 1v1. It's typically her positioning that's so impeccable that gives her those opportunities.
Tackled by Cundy. You know, once in a while, you put yourself in danger. I mean, here's Curry standing there, and Meg. Sorry, my brother. It's a risk you take. Yep, I feel you. I get it. I really do. You and I saw a young kid in between games earlier today, juggling for fun. Brilliantly, I should add, tried to meg me on the way back from the bathroom at halftime.
Things you love to see. I mean, that's the culture down here. Is we have football fans down here, supporters that are so enthusiastic about women's soccer in the SEC and the culture around the SEC. It's not just a football conference, it's a women's football conference as well.
I should note I clipped it with my heel. I'm not getting megged today. I'm the original gangster. It's not happening.
to see you with like some rope between your feet tomorrow.
Ball forward from Sawan. South Carolina's got it. Zulo. Danger in the VAR tent. I mean, I don't know who was in that.
Well,
other
it's
seat,
already
but there
10
was someone there a
o'clock,
moment ago.
so
That ball was a heat seeking missile. Barry. Zulo. Around the outside. Zulo. Ball knocked down. Appeal for handball. Play on. Ball. Spots the run over the top. That goes by Patrick. Sawan, 4 goals as a sub this year. Fundy.
And this is the epitome of Alabama and their strategy and the way that they wanted to play. They quickly gained territory out through Sawan. Gianna Paul unleashes Sawan in the 1v1 in the wide channel. It's not on. Be able to draw it back, change the point of attack, establish that territory, and then try to find a way to work through the gaps.
By the way, you think Curry was in trouble. I mean, John Gibson almost got his head taken off. You know, everyone says, ooh, you're in the front row. It must be such a fun time. Well, not so fast. SEC officials nearly decapitated tonight.
Looks like I need to get them some gloves.
Yeah, right.
And some lessons.
They don't need lessons. They just chose not to catch it. Alabama trying to find a goal that would pull them right back into the match. They started to take some control. They need something to show for it. Sawan. Double team. Meadows came over to join. Sliding away from Patrick. Ball lofted. Header right back up the gut. Paul got the shot away and Sayusis hangs on.
Gianna Paul gets this at the top of the box. Alabama investigating those wide channels, service into the box. Paul picks up the second at the top, and she just hits that with such blistering pace. Takes a slight deflection off South Carolina's defenders, but ends in Sayusis' hands. Alabama left empty-handed from yet another attack.
Ball sneaks out. The entire Alabama bench is up and getting ready. Meanwhile, right behind them is in Weekly's 8-time Pensacola DJ of the Year, DJ Lau. And, you know, Jill's feeding songs to this poor DJ.
I'm still waiting to hear Glorilla. That's what I requested.
And
I have yet to hear it. I've heard some other good bangers, though.
you're the man. Appreciate it. Thank you, DJ Lau. You're cool, too.
You're not so bad yourself.
Thanks. We still have 3 more games together. I don't know about that.
Yeah, check back in, folks.
Yeah, I will say this, it's kind of cool. You and I got here, and usually you play, I mean, if it's South Carolina, they play Sandstorm. I mean, Alabama plays their fight song. Everyone picks their own song for goal celebrations, and when they enter the field, their opening playlist. So, I don't know who holds the aux cord on each individual team, but I do know that there is a rhyme and a reason. Here's Bem playing that early. Straight back out to Collins. Collins lacing across Zuloff. Zuloff is there again. Ball caught between her feet, comes high and laced wide by Bam.
And this sequence all starts with Katie Shea Collins making that run in behind, bringing it back into a central area. Zuloff then includes herself a bit higher. South Carolina counter presses with Bree Bem. But those are also moments that, yeah, Bem sees glory for herself from distance, but they can keep possession a little bit longer. Because in the second half, Alabama is throwing a few more numbers forward, trying to create and generate some kind of attacking moments. And South Carolina could just control this with a bit more possession.
Down the line, this gets out. So this, the fourth and final game of quarterfinal Thursday. Is it possible that we see all four top seeds get through? Mississippi State sees the winner of this one, double overtime winner by Tana Martinez Montoya at minute 101. Got by Tennessee. Meanwhile, top half of the bracket, Texas 3-0. All in the second half against LSU. Arkansas, the 83rd minute, get the winner against Georgia from Robinson. Texas, Arkansas will be the second semifinal Thursday here on SEC Network. Alabama win the ball, and they're off to the races. Gianna Paul has a stride. This will drag her wide and ultimately get beyond her. Let's show you that Arkansas game. That was the opener here today. Razorbacks taking on the reigning champ Georgia, and ultimately it's Robinson who's the beneficiary right in front of goal.
Well, you can just see there Arkansas's clear, coordinated movement to get into the spaces at the top of the box, make it difficult for their opponents to clear their lines, and they are just the most opportunistic team. They feed on half chances, on quarter chances, suffocate their opponents with pressure. So difficult to defend for 90-plus minutes.
Substitutions coming. Last time we got the top four seeds into the semifinals, 2016.
One of the players from the South Carolina Gamecocks women's soccer players is down.
In the 1-4 game, Arkansas over Auburn in the 3-2 game. So plenty of upsets once we got to that point. Florida 2-1 winner in overtime in that 2016 final. Huh. Trying to figure out what's in the jar.
Is it a hot shot?
Is it a hot shot? Is it the Michelle Cooper hot shot? Oh my gosh.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it's kind of got like a peppery flavor. It's a anti-cramping juice. I mean, it's a combination. People tell me it tastes like pickle juice and Tabasco.
I was gonna say roadkill.
It's the perfect elixir for cramps. So it appears South Carolina's minutes are catching up to them a bit. It is very humid tonight, it should be noted.
Well, that's what I was going to say, is that even knowing that this South Carolina team could control possession a little bit more. If they can break that initial pressure where Alabama want to outnumber the ball carrier, there's plenty of space and plenty of time for the South Carolina team to establish a bit of possession and make Alabama chase, make them run, and in essence, conserving some of their energy with the ball.
By the way, the reason I called it the Michelle Cooper hot shot, there was an NWSL game where she was suffering from a cramp, and she drank one of these, and her face, her reaction was so disgusted that it became a pretty epic meme in the women's soccer community. Then the following week, it may have been Trinity Rodman, or it was another of the top picks in that year's draft, same exact reaction, became kind of a thing.
What's worse, suffering from the cramp or the hot shot?
Me? Hot shot. Yeah. Collins. A hot shot in her own right. Earlier this year on Prime Video, we were in Kansas City, and Kaylee Watt was able to convince her to do it again. After they played the video of her squirming on the big screen in Kansas City, the CPKC Stadium that's going to be hosting Women's College Cup little bit down the line.
Did she get a bonus for that?
No, she's just a good sport. Big 12 playing that new stadium in Kansas City. 11,500. They've been sold out every single game this year for that tremendous Kansas City Current team. They'll be hosting the NWSL Championship there. Here's Izzy Smith coming back in. Labovich sits with about half of a half to play. Of course, the NWSL on Sunday will be on ABC. Washington Bay, the expansion team getting in. Gotham and Portland.
South Carolina trying to get pressure on Ramadan because Ramadan can be lethal from distance when she can get faced up.
Well, how lethal can you be with a set piece? If you find a way to get a goal here, Alabama, when they start pressing and making the game chaotic at the end, can force some uncharacteristic errors. Ramadan hangs this up. Drops across the six. Ayusis calls for it, has it.
And this is a good opportunity for South Carolina. Look like they're in the driver's seat right now in this second half against Alabama. Alabama's been relatively tame in their attack. South Carolina can afford themselves opportunities to be meticulous in their build-out, because if they advance in this game, they're going to have to play Mississippi State in their next game, who have a fantastic six-player midfield that's incredibly difficult to possess through. Tennessee was able to find opportunities in that second half, but that's going to be a big challenge for this South Carolina team. And not only can they have opportunities to refine that build-out, but be able to establish some control in this game, establish control and the tempo to be able to milk some time off this clock.
Barry gets a moment to sit with 25 minutes to play. Collins offside. And the reality with Collins coming in, I've had coaches call it Barry Island. It's Cat Barry, hold up play, the whole solar system revolved around her for a number of years. It's not to say other players haven't been up to that task, but it appears Katie Shea Collins is the perfect pairing for her in a way that has unlocked her best season yet.
Well, there's a reason why they're playing in a two-front. It's because Cat Barry carries this magnetism with her. Because she's so dangerous when she can receive, face up, turn, and run at players, because of that, she draws 2 to 3 defenders. And she can simply just use her movement as a decoy to then create space for a speedy attacker to join.
Driving, firing, not to be for Podolski. More subs. This is both ways. There's Lexi Meyer. Meyer for Ramadan. Barry got about a minute and a half off, replaces Collins, and you'd assume Collins will get a sip of water and then try and see out the game. When you utilize your substitutions this early and only use it for about a minute, in some ways, you sort of tie your hands behind your back, because once you take the player off again, that's it for this half. You're allowed re-entry, but it's not unlimited. Flicked over toward Paul, met by Schubach. There's Ben. There's a foul. Meadows. Lisa Harris was the go-getter. Meadows the organizer. Ideal center back pairing for a while. Render. Moyer.
And those two center backs have had to put out a lot of fires tonight. You see Gracie follow her timing of when to put pressure on Gianna Paul. You've also seen her slide across the confront to make angles very narrow, get pressure on the ball, get stuck in, making some big-time tackles back there. Right now, getting pressure up Gianna Paul from their backside, making it difficult for her to, one, control the ball, and two, turn.
Really good from South Carolina. Texas earlier today taking on the 11th seed LSU, and the Longhorns securing their place in the semifinal.
Holly Ward, what a vertical threat. Positions herself in between players, times the run to perfection, and then gets around the edge of LSU defender here before she pokes it home past Kevorkian for the brace and the decisive, comprehensive victory.
Well, we'll see if Texas messes with the hog and gets the horns. It is the 2-3 matchup to be played on Thursday, SEC Conference semifinals. Meanwhile, South Carolina would have a look at Mississippi State. Texas fans enjoying their first SEC tournament. So many years, Big 12 tournament. Ball lofted over and held by Sayusis. So that was just wafting toward the goal and had to sort of be played up off the bar and back into her grip. 20 minutes to play.
And here's a look at this big lofted service into the penalty area from Izzy Smith. Sayusis. It's slick. As the sun goes down here, it gets a little bit of dew on the grass and on the ball. It becomes a little bit slicker. Even though you warmed up in the daytime when the sun was out, the conditions change, and you have to be really decisive with those decisions. Ultimately, no harm there for South Carolina.
It's become very dewy tonight. 89% humidity. Record temperatures here in Pensacola. I mean, you and I have come here on nights where it's like 48 and windy.
Parkas.
Yeah, not today. Grass a little bit moist. Thankfully for us, the flag has actually become limp as opposed to what it was yesterday, where it was practically pulling at the pole the entire night. Zuloff for Ben. Look at the lights here in Pensacola. Year 3 that this tournament's played here. That's a pretty wild slide, but it.
Oh!
At the edge of the penalty area, they say ball.
Oh no!
That's a good tackle from Schubach, because that was something that this South Carolina team struggled with in the beginning parts of the season, was those individual defending from those fullbacks in wide channels. Big time tackle from Schubach.
Schubach, outside back now, but arrived as a forward.
And just the growth that we're seeing there from Schubach, and certainly a lot of work from Jamie Smith on the defensive side of the ball.
Schubach scored 6 goals as all freshmen as a forward. Initially committed to Florida. Actually went to the same high school as the Zulos, 100 and Central in New Jersey. Played in the same academy, Player Development Academy, PDA.
She's got a little jersey in her at times. She can be feisty, got an edge to her, a little bite, like us folks from New Jersey.
All right. Oh, there. Don't you say you're from Philly? I mean, what's the answer, Philly or New Jersey?
I mean, the edge and the bite could be either one.
Oh, now they say my hometown is Philadelphia, Pennsylvania.
Zulo,
Don't mess with
Schubach,
Mike.
I would never. That is a really valuable recruiting ground. Ball headed along and sent away. I mean, men's and women's sides, but South Carolina has gotten a lot of great players out of PDA over the years. Free kick, South Carolina. That's going to come to the card. That's a yellow. Kennedy Garcia's.
Oh, no.
The center back role tonight since the early.
So the team we're rooting for are tonight's last quarterfinal game is Alabama Crimson Tide.
To be able to get pressure here on Kylie. Ultimately, this is
A yellow card. Oh, no.
Keep possession.
Balla. Sent away. Kinley Brown was waiting.
Hey, turn it on the yellow. Oh, my God.
Alabama simply cannot seed another. I believe they have a chance here tonight. South Carolina looking to throw the final nail in the coffin at this point. Meisel. Brown. Back from Zuloff. Gucci.
I like Yamaguchi. She can slot into the center back position as well for the South Carolina team with a touch there. But punches, passes, threads them in tight little spaces, Yamaguchi.
Oh, the shot's good from South Carolina Gamecocks. And it's good. A goal and a score from South Carolina. Gamecocks. Wow.
It's her time of the year. Autumn, Kelly, a monster goal.
And you can see South Carolina create that 2v2, draw the opponents out wide, little combination play here at the top of the box, and takes that touch centrally. The run across the Alabama defender makes it incredibly difficult for the defender to get pressure on the ball. That leaves space for Kylie at the top of the box. A worldie from distance. Absolutely hits a bomb. Puts the nail in the coffin here for Alabama.
Well, the Tide, they know. Kelly can't believe it. Soak it in, it's real. Meanwhile, Laurier, try as she might, can't keep it out. Patrick, Perry, Kelly, and South Carolina appear poised to make a run back into the semifinal and get a chance at a rematch with Mississippi State, who they saw just Wednesday night in the Hurricane Helene makeup game. South Carolina led at halftime of that game, ultimately fell 2-1, and that secured the perfect season for the Bulldogs in the SEC. Kukan. Turned over to Barry. Crosses the halfway line. Over to Collins. Collins! Slide, all ball. Wow.
Wow.
Contact. There's a good chance she would have been sent off. Whether that would have been a yellow or a red, either way, if it weren't decided by the referee that was all ball, Garcia was already on caution. Here's Barry. Barry drives by across. Up and wide from Collins. How good did this tackle have to be from Kennedy Garcia?
Well, Alabama has another option at center back. What a fantastic tackle. Looks like she gets a little bit there. She gets Collins on the foot. At first I thought it was the ball. That was a crunching tackle from Garcia. Clips Collins there. I think she got away with one there.
Well, that forward trying center back out tonight in a pinch. Knew that could have been it. All driven across. That not to be. South Carolina, only losses in the regular year, conference or otherwise, at Arkansas, home against Mississippi State. Last 8 years, they have lost just 13 SEC games. Quickly for Paul. Paul will pull up knowing that Fala had the step. Into Gianna Paul now. The junior from Long Island watches this over the line. Barring a miracle, Alabama, with their RPI in the 70s, despite 10 wins in a Power 4 conference, see their season end here tonight. The metrics just did them no favors. They get a key win over a top 25 team in Vanderbilt to open the tournament. Truthfully, if they had beaten Vandy in the final regular season game and the seeding number were a little different, you wonder whether that would weigh in, although the RPI would still be a struggle. In a lot of ways, this is a painful outcome for Alabama. Handled far more business than ultimately the numbers will end up suggesting at the end. Skorka. They're just trying to find a way back in. Diving header, ricochets. Curry, be careful.
And ultimately, this Alabama team just ran out of steam. The way they play is just so fatiguing. To run, to press, to put pressure on opponents, to hunt on the regain, to be spiteful again in transition. And it's those long energy zapping runs.
This hit from distance, Sayusa settles.
That made it difficult for Alabama to flip this around in 48 hours and then put together a performance against one of the best teams in the SEC, one of the best in the country. A very valiant effort to be able to come in as the 12th seed, upset a very good Vanderbilt team who typically dominates in possession, disrupt their possession, and find a couple goals in that first half.
The reality is draw at Texas, draw home Tennessee, draw at home against Mizzou, draw at Georgia, draw at Auburn. You add all that up and the new RPI metrics which give you only a third of the value of a win as opposed to a half. And draws against team that good, you could say, especially on the road, really valuable points. But computer model isn't going to give that the same measure of appreciation. Battle for the ball, Collins continued. Going to be a yellow to Collins.
The useful effervescence of Katie Shea Collins. And I was just thinking less than 10 minutes ago, decisive result here for South Carolina. And I'm kind of
yellow card. Oh, wow.
Collins and Kat Berry are still in this game.
Worth noting, Garcia got her 4th yellow of the season, so not any danger for Alabama, even if they do find their way into an NCAA tournament bid. And who knows, maybe 10 wins speaks loudly, but history says beneath 60 is a very tough row to plow. Meanwhile, for South Carolina, this is not a very yellow card heavy team. South Carolina is the kind of team that tackles you and checks to see if you're okay. I don't know a better way to put it.
That is a great way. Like they'll get stuck in with the edge and the bite from Gracie Follow and Reagan Schubach and then help you up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ripped away by Kinley Brown. And down goes Fala. And
wow.
Apparently the pickle juice was not enough. How about we remind you that South Carolina just saw Mississippi State on Wednesday night. 2-1 game. Opening goal comes from Berry in the 10th, and it's Johnson and Husbands in the second half.
Johnson's was electric in this game. A big part of Mississippi State's success all season long. A big part of their success tonight on both sides of the ball. Created that turnover in that first game against Tennessee and had the assist to Martinez Montoya.
And so, semifinal Thursday should be seeds 1 through 4 for the first time in nearly a decade. Mississippi State will likely see South Carolina. On the other side of the bracket, 3rd seed Texas, 2nd seed Arkansas. And we got the semifinals that gonna put a ton of pro talent on display. Fala walks off. You'd have to think if the 3-goal lead, you'll allow Fala to see the rest of this game out from the bench.
We'll see Emma Bucci slide back into that center back position. Familiar position for her with all the competencies of a midfielder, being able to solve pressure. This oozes so much composure and can certainly help this South Carolina team establish a bit more of that control building out of the back.
Subs galore. And now South Carolina can start to think about including Kelly, whose first goal was unreal. Our next out of pocket with Alyssa Lang and Randall Cobb. They'll take you inside the world of SEC sports. Focus on football. They'll have a lot of fun doing it too. Tomorrow, 7 Eastern, 6 Central, right here on the SEC Network and the ESPN app. Whistle goes against Labovich. When you look at South Carolina, they still have that defensive fortitude, right? But I don't remember them having such a dynamic attack in the way that they do right now in recent years. I look at them and go, of anyone in the SEC outside of that top 2, which seem to be far and away exceeding everybody else, right? They look like a side that could make a run toward the Elite Eight or better. Berry fouled. That's a penalty. And South Carolina will go back to the spot with a chance to add a 4th. And Berry will line this up, scored already from the spot tonight.
And this is one of the brilliant aspects of Kat Berry's tremendously large toolkit is the ability to play back to goal, receive possession.
Berry is 3 for 3 on the year. A hand it up and not off from Laie.
Wow.
48 for Catherine Berry.
And that shot's good and scores by South Carolina. By Kat Berry, number 10.
And South Carolina puts the finishing touch on their quarterfinal win.
One way or another, it is Kat Berry who is regularly influencing, impacting results here on a weekly basis here for South Carolina, draws the foul, and then steps up decisively, hits that with a ton of pace with the inside of her foot. And it's almost automatic from the spot there for Kat Berry.
And Berry just keeps piling on to a career year and never managed more than 10 in a season. She has 15, 11 in the run of play, 4 from the spot. And South Carolina, I was just saying, this is a side that just feels like they've got enough here to go make a run at a Sweet 16 at an Elite 8.
And you can always tell how South Carolina is doing because Kat Berry is always giving us the temperature of how her team is performing. The higher up she receives the ball, the better her team is doing.
She's a physical human thermostat.
Correct. And then the lower she has to drop to get possession, that's when you know her team is really struggling. So just picking up her positioning on the field is a great litmus test for how the Gamecocks are performing in that match.
Well, it's about 75 degrees Mercury on this thermostat here in Pensacola tonight, and Berry will take lead. Not done yet in the SEC. Goals 14 and 15, and Kat Berry puts on some kind of performance in this quarterfinal as South Carolina are on a mission here in Pensacola. Ball through, header down. Can Alabama grab one back? Still it's on here, there's contact. That is a penalty. So Kukan wins a spot kick for Alabama. They'll go to the line with 5:02 remaining in the second half. So they're asking whether this is offside. You hear that's not something that can be reviewed. Kukan falling.
Yeah, South Carolina defenders were pleading for Kukan to be offside, coming from an offside position back on. And puts Hallie Meadows into a compromising position and affords an opportunity here for Nadia Ramadan to convert one from the spot.
Sayusis has saved 2 of 4 this year. Nadia Ramadan is 1 for 1 at the spot this season. 6 goals, an awesome sophomore campaign. Ramadan lines it up.
Get on the board. Here we are.
Alabama grab one.
We are on the board.
Remaining.
And a shot score. We are finally on the board.
And the foul inside the penalty area. And Ramadan, the way that she approaches.
And that goal, I don't know what she's doing, but she went on the other way.
Sayusis going the wrong way, opens up the hip last second. And grabs it fast to bring one back for Alabama.
Oh boy.
Mention goal number 48. You can add on 25 assists. And Catherine Berry is the new program career points record holder for South Carolina. In a program that has Savannah McCaskill in it, that is some kind of mark to leave.
And she doesn't even get all the credit for what she deserves because surely she's a part of every single attacking sequence Whether it's 2 to 3 passes before the assist, before the goal, she is a part of everything. She is the platform in which South Carolina orchestrates every single attack. The intelligence that she moves with to occupy different spaces across the pitch. She can play in any attacking position. She can play in the false 9, in a 9 that gets in behind, in a 7, 11, the 10.
Reaching all the way down the line, Neves. Slides in for Kukan, that's cleared. 121 points for Barry. That's 2 per goal, 1 per assist. I mean, we're talking 73 goal contributions in 97 games. And this is, they're programs that will drop 75 goals in a year. That's not South Carolina, due respect.
But also the level of competition that she's playing on a weekly basis.
Alabama showing fight all the way to the end. Ball through. Approaching the end line. And Sayusis can't quite hold on, but Render there to secure. Driving, firing into Sayusis. Most game-winning goals past Savannah McCaskill earlier this season. Second in goals. Now first in points with 121. So it feels like for the last 5 years, every South Carolina
This game will last until 11 o'clock p.m.
You need to watch tonight. And in many ways, that is vindicated. 2 goals from the record. And potentially with 2 more games here in Pensacola, you never know. She could hit that magic number 50 while she's here. If not, you'd think the NCAA tournament early rounds provides pretty decent opportunity to do that before she graduates.
It'd be easy to just stereotype her as that typical number 9 penalty box poacher type of striker, but she provides a vast array of contributions on both sides of the ball, provides that outlet in transition and that South Carolina look to utilize so often. And really, the play of Katie Shea Collins has just been...
We're under 2 minutes to go in the second half.
Something out of absolutely nothing. But now that she has a partner up top to take some of the attention away from her, or to be able to play make and not just rely on being a goal scorer, but to actually play make from, it just adds another element of unpredictability for the South Carolina attack.
Intrigued to see where she lands professionally next year, but there's still a lot of work to be done before then.
We're under a minute to go. This is it.
It'll be the widest gap between teams today. This Alabama team gave absolutely everything. They really did. A tremendous upset win over Vanderbilt in the first round. Their 10th win of the season. And the Tide are going to fall short of South Carolina. And the Gamecocks are going to get a chance at a top 3 team in the country on Thursday night. By the way, do you think Ian Carey's going to be wearing the white blazer again next time we see him? I mean, that's some of the top stuff from our studio coverage today. The analysis was good, too. The soccer...
That's it, and we lost. And our season had come to an end. Wow. Well, congratulations to the South Carolina Gamecocks women's soccer team for making a win for tonight against our team as Alabama Crimson Tide.
Mississippi State, Thursday afternoon here on SEC Network.
Wow.
How did South Carolina make it happen? Well, the opening goal from Amanda Patrick, first career goal in the 11th.
It was a fantastic effort here from the fullback, Amanda Patrick, domineering header. But that opportunity was created from Katie Shea Collins, as well as this one, as she just wriggles through traffic, draws contact, gives an opportunity for Kat Berry, who goes back across. Laie, decisive finish for South Carolina. Then it was the bomb from distance from Kylie at the top of the box. Look how far she is from goal. Hits that with so much pace, you can see it move. The movement on that ball makes it so difficult for Laie to know when to take off and make a connection. And then it's Kat Berry again, using her physicality, her movement off the dribble, draws the pen, finishes the pen, and gives this South Carolina a decisive victory and leads them to the semifinal.
And those semis are set, Jill, and we've got the top four for the
Now,
first
South
time
Carolina
since
will
2016.
move on to semifinals against Mississippi State. Then, and then Texas will take on Arkansas.
Conference play season long, 4-3. South Carolina, Mississippi State, the game that we saw at the end of the season, neither team really feeling.
And the
like
winner
they
of those
had
games will move on to the
performance.
championship game. Will be this Sunday around 2:30 p.m. on ESPNU.
And Kat Berry and South Carolina will try and do what no team in the SEC has done yet this season and tackle the Mississippi State Bulldogs on Thursday. Tremendous performance. Kat Berry, the new all-time points record holder at South Carolina, joins us. It's Mike and Jill in the booth. Kat, every time we come to this tournament, we know we're going to see a measure of greatness from you. You do it again today. Describe this performance from your team.
You know, I think we've known that we've had a
As
higher
Kat
standard
Berry,
and a higher
number
level that we
10,
can get to this
one of
season,
my
and we've been
favorite
trying to
soccer
continue
players
to build
from
to
the
that
South
and
Carolina
continue to
Gamecocks.
achieve the next thing and the next thing. And we knew we wanted to come in here and make a statement. Maybe a couple of games that didn't go our way in the regular season. So we wanted to come out for blood here, make a statement early, and get some momentum to continue us going forward.
Kat, you've always been a great goal scorer, but now this season we're seeing another element of your playmaking ability, having a partner like Katie Shea Collins. Can you speak to how that relationship has continued to blossom throughout the season?
She's so awesome. I've just been so fortunate to be able to finish out my career here with her and have someone like that to look to up top. I think it's really great because I've been able to be a mentor for her in a lot of ways, and everything that she's kind of gone through, I've been through and been able to, you know, kind of be there step by step with her through that. But also she's just raised to every level that we've asked her to. She's continued to, you know, reach the bar that I continue to move higher and higher for her, and just having somebody that kind of we can balance each other off, and we offer some different things, but we're also both good at some similar things. So it's just amazing, and being able to play with her and have that threat up top too for some different options to go forward and score some more goals has been amazing. And we've always known if we could put that piece together, we'd be a dangerous team, and that's what I think she really gives us.
Kat, on Thursday night, you get a chance at Mississippi State again. You guys just played them on Wednesday. Excited for the matchup?
Yeah, they're a phenomenal team. Obviously, they're having an incredible season, but we had a really great matchup with them in Columbia last week. I think we felt like we were a little bit unfortunate in moments. Obviously, we were excited to be able to go up on them, and a couple of really good shots they had put them on top ultimately. So we'll be excited to have another chance to play against them, and it should be an awesome matchup, and just what we're here at the beach for.
Can't wait. Thank you very much, Kat.
Thank you, guys.
And now let's listen
Kat
to
Berry.
Kat Berry, one of the women's soccer players. And
Thank you.
And that'll do it from here. We'll see y'all back here Thursday for the semifinals. It's Texas versus Arkansas and tonight. And South Carolina will take on Mississippi State in the afternoon at 4 o'clock p.m.
The work from noon to night again. Mike Watts saying so long from
We'll say so long.
The top four. All advanced to Thursday. We'll see you then.
Have a good night, everybody.